I'm Doug Vila, and welcome back to This Old Camper.
I don't know. You're more like Richard Corns.
I don't think so, Tim.
What are we doing today?
So today,
Doug Vila.
today we are going to be, our goal for the day is to get the ceiling out and get all the wall panels off so that we can start working on upgrading the insulation in the camper today.
Do you know how to take the walls off?
Not a clue.
All right.
We're going to figure it out.
What else do we have to do with the walls though? Because I know there's a lot of work. It's not just walls.
You have to take off all the window frames. You've got to get all the corner molding out. You've got to, there's a lot to do. So we're going to show you guys how to do all of that.
The wrong way, because we don't know what we're doing.
Maybe the right way, who knows? Either way, by the end of the video, you'll know how to do it. So make sure that you guys like the video and subscribe so that by the end of this series, you guys are going to come across a project that you're going to want to do that we've already done, so you can see the right way and how not to do it as well. All right, so last week we took out the big entertainment center that was here so that we could get to the walls and the ceiling panels and start pulling those all apart. Now on your walls, everything that's on the surface of the wall needs to be removed before you can take your wall paneling off. So like your window frames, corner moldings, everything like that's got to come out before you do it. These are just nailed in with little tack strips. We're having a doggy intermission. Are you done? We're trying to YouTube. So we're gonna get a pry bar and just pull these out. These are just sent in with little brad nails. Same thing with these ones up here in the corner. These are all just nailed in, so we're gonna have to pull these apart too. The other thing that we're gonna need to do to get these slides off is take the slide seals, or get the walls off, is take the slide seal mounts out and all the cabling for the slides as well. So this is gonna be a really detailed project for today.
Sounds way too complicated for my abilities.
Yeah, this is at least a 3-beer project, so let's get started on this before the sun gets up and it gets hot in here, because we don't have the camper plugged in because you don't want to be working around electrical and pulling outlets out of the wall while the power's on. So
right.
We're trying to get this all done before the sun gets up and gets us heated, because we don't have any air conditioning in here. Let's get the pry bars and start pulling stuff.
All right. Oh, that wasn't terrible. You just got to get close. Just slide it in where you can and get close.
Yep. So now the trick to this, if you're prying this way with your pry bar, is you might crack your molding. So get it in, twist it sideways next to the nail or the staple, and that'll pull the nail rather than cracking your molding out.
I think I'm doing a little of both.
Well, it's a good thing you married Doug Vila. The more of this stuff you save, the more you can just reinstall later and help keep your costs down.
Yeah.
Now that we've got this off, we can actually start prying panels out, but we're going to get this window frame off and start with the wall panels and get that all out too.
Okay, makes sense.
Does the tongue hanging out of your mouth make it work better?
Well, clearly, because look, now it keeps skipping. How do you not hit that thing? I lost the screw. Oh, I got it. Other side, I guess. Oh, right. Window. Molding.
We're going to have to get those window shade mounts off. So literally everything that's screwed onto the wall needs to come off, because that's half of what's holding your wall paneling on. Can't wait to see what's behind this wall, because if you look right there, looks like we had some kind of drippage going on. So hopefully there's no water damage behind the wall, but I know that when we were winter camping, this window would actually get ice on it.
Yeah, it was gross.
Because the insulation in here is fantastic, and
a terrible draft all winter.
Terrible.
I mean, you can see why that was happening.
yeah, there's no insulation at all in the corners of the front cap. And being that it's only a single pane glass, there's no insulation, so all the humidity in here and outside forms on there. We would get puddles of water in the bottom of the window frame. all kinds of stuff. So I can't wait to see what's behind this wall. So before we pull this wall panel off, we're actually going to put on some N95 rebreathers, because that'll capture any of the mold spores or anything else that's behind there, like the insulation dust, because we don't want to be breathing fiberglass, because that's just going to lead to a lousy day. So if you guys are going to be doing the same project, I'll put links to the ones that we're using in it, because it actually has a little one-way valve on it, so that it helps keep your face cooler, so you're not breathing sweat all day long. And
which is nice, because it's supposed to be like 92 today.
Yeah, so let's throw those on and pull this wall panel off and see what's behind it.
Okay. Doug, I am your wife.
I think the fumes are getting to you already.
Oh, this piece came off easy.
Well, that's convenient.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
Voila.
All right, let's start pulling these wall panels.
Here's my side wall is behind my front wall.
All right.
Oh, there's like a glue in there too.
Yep. Just noticing that.
All right.
The glue appears to be holding in some spots.
Yeah, but it's split, so now it's like constantly splitting.
Yep. Yep. So we might be figuring out where you get these kind of paneling. I think we can just replace it with regular Luan.
It's thin and light enough?
Yeah, it's just, I believe it's the same stuff, and this just has wallpaper on the Luan. All right, so we have been working at this front wall panel, and we've got it most of the way loosened up, but like you guys heard us talking about the glue or construction adhesive or something. If you look in here along the window frame, you can see the remnants of it on the wall panel.
Hey, can you zoom in right here? You can see, like, because I'm still prying. See it?
You can see it kind of separating from the window frame.
Right.
But the other problem that we're running into is, although it is flexible, because of the nails right here in the corner and the wall paneling coming over top of it, we can't get this panel out until we get this panel out. So we're gonna have to pull this molding next, and then we can cut along this wallpaper seam here and try to get this panel out so that we can get this panel out. So that's what we're gonna be doing now. Do we look defeated yet? All right, so the issue that we're having is the way that these are put together. So it's not like your house where the outside wall is nailed onto the frame and then the inside wall is nailed onto the frame. So the way that these are put together at the factory, apparently, is that they do the outside skin on the wall, spray glue, stick some styrofoam in there, spray glue, inside wall, because when trying to pull the side walls off, we ended up cracking it. And as you can see, it's got the styrofoam insulation in there, and it is glued to it. So prying it off is not even as close to as easy as the front wall is.
Right.
Which means that this demo is going to get a lot more expensive, because we're not willing to compromise on the insulation that we're going to put into it.
Right, the insulation was like really
one of the main factors for doing.
Right, it was like the driving reason. But this was supposed to be a really budget restricted project. Like, we sold things to have the money to do this. This wasn't...
So this blows the budget pretty good. So.
Right.
But that's not going to stop us. So we are going to rip this wall out. Plus side, now we don't have to be as careful doing it.
Right. If we can take the walls down without breaking them, like this front piece, I'd say we still do that.
Absolutely, because then you can use it as a template, even if we have to replace it, to make sure that the hole's cut the same size and everything like that.
But like these sidewalls, if it's glued in with the styrofoam and everything, it's going to need it. The only way to get it off is to break it.
Right.
So
we're gonna get started on that, and we'll check back with you guys in a couple minutes.
This should make the project more fun.
A little bit of glue.
Oh my god. Wow.
This sucks. Whose idea was this?
Yours.
Oh.
Huh.
We've made zero progress. And we've come across another roadblock. So remember, the front wall was tucked in behind what we thought was just a wall paneling from the side wall. Turns out it actually goes behind the framing on the side wall. So we're gonna have to cut along the framing in order to replace the insulation out front and get this wall panel off. But if you've ever wondered what's inside your RV walls, styrofoam.
R value, 0.
Yeah, like nothing. So we're gonna finish getting all this off, get this front wall panel off, get the ceilings off, and then we'll get back to you guys. Best advice I got for you, just rip away and plan on replacing all of your wall paneling with Luan and repainting, because it's just gonna be one of those kind of days today. All right, so we took a break from doing the side walls because that's just gonna be a lot of prying and nastiness that really nobody's gonna wanna watch. So we used a vibratory saw to cut along the seams where the side walls overlap the front walls. So now we're gonna go ahead and pull this off and see if this drip spot over here is actually water damage or if it's just some glue that dripped down.
All right, real insulation.
Yeah?
Is it wet?
I don't feel any moisture. There's room for a lot more insulation in there though.
All right. Well, that's what we expected when we started this project, so. There we go.
All right, no turning back now. All right, so you can see here the little bit of insulation that we have.
And the space.
And the amount of airspace that we have back there. So there's room for a lot more insulation in the camper.
Yeah.
So we're gonna spend the next couple hours trying to get all this pulled apart, get this insulation pulled apart. And once we got these walls bare and we're ready to start the ceiling, we'll come back to you guys with another video. So until then, wish us luck.
We're gonna need it.
Rather be camping with you guys, that's for sure.